bunny. I hope you've been having a good week, filled with love from people who love you. And if not, well, guess what? I'm here, and you know that I really, really do love you. Can you feel the love in my voice? If I could act, you would be seeing me in the best of movies. But I can't act, so you're going to have to do with the real love that I have. You want to start with an I love you? I'm going to summon all of my actual real love for you. Here we go. Ready? I'm thinking of you. I love you, little bunny. How does that make you feel? I'm going to talk about love a little bit this week. About relationships specifically. Not just the romantic ones specifically. And not just the friendships specifically. And not even those interesting in-betweens that I'm sure you know about. It's just any time that you're sharing yourself with someone else by choice, someone whom you choose to be in your life. And these relationships can be good. They can be bad. They can be hard work. They can be easy. They can be filled with lots of sacrifice. Or they can be no burden at all. But I'm going to simplify them into just 3 little categories. And maybe there's a super secret 4th that I love that comes later. Maybe if you'll be lucky, then I'll tell you. So you can either listen to this episode with a relationship in mind, or you can just turn off your mind and get lost in the comfort of my voice. Either one is fine. But let's talk about these 3 relationships. And before I get ahead of myself, let's do the quote for this week, and then we'll end with the poem. So the quote today comes from a famous person in Hollywood. And Hollywood is a notoriously bad place to go for relationship advice, as you know, because there's so much divorce. It's incredibly common. And this is a celebrity who is still married to the same person for quite a many years now. And he has a really wonderful thing to say about how to make relationships work. And it's very much in line with the garden and what I'll be talking about in this episode. So this is from the one and only Will Smith. And he has this to say about love. The central idea of love is not a relationship commitment. The first thing is a personal commitment to be the best version of yourself with or without that person you're with. You have to, every single day, mind, body, and spirit, wake up with a commitment to be better. We're going to do a lot of work in the future about being the best version of ourselves, and that's going to come up in just a second. So, okay, 3 kinds of relationships. The first one is when you feel like you're giving more than you're getting in return. You're here for this person when the times are hard for them, but they're suspiciously absent when you're hurting and you're in need. And you do nice little things for them, but you feel underappreciated in return. You join them for the activities they want to do, but you never get to do the stuff that you want to do. Does this sound familiar to you at all? Are you nodding along? Well, obviously, this is an unhealthy kind of relationship because it is lose-win. You feel like you're losing, and they feel like they're winning. And so it's a relationship that you need to either fix or you need to get out of. And remember, as a good little bunny, you don't jump to the get out of relationship card solution first. You don't start by blocking and unfollowing. You start by having a conversation. And in the garden, we're not scared of conversations. Yes, it's going to feel awkward. You're going to feel nervous, but you're going to have a conversation where you explain how you feel in the relationship. And they might react negatively. And you give them a day, let them sleep on it. Sleep changes everything. And if a day or two goes by and they still feel negatively about how you honestly feel about the relationship, then it is indeed time to move on. And if you feel compelled to block and unfollow, go for it. But basically, you have the conversation, you express how you feel. And then if you still feel like you're losing and they are winning, then you move on to the next relationship. Number 2, as you can probably guess, this is the flip side. This is where you feel like you're winning. Amazing. But your partner feels like they're losing. Maybe they want you to be someone that you're not. And again, there's 2 things you can, and dare I say should, do. Your job in this instance, in a relationship that is win-lose, is it's time for you to reflect on yourself. This person that they want you to be, is this someone that you also want to be? Because if so, this is a chance for you to grow. And remember, there are things that come along with being my little bunny, and one is always growing into who you want to be. That's a big theme of the garden, and I'm going to talk more about it in the future. So if you're in this relationship where you're winning and your partner feels like they're losing because you're not being the person that you want to be, it's time to grow, little bunny. But if they want you to be someone that you don't want to be, they feel like they're losing because you're not the person that they want and that they need. Well, after you do your reflecting and you're sure that this is the case, and go ahead and have another conversation with them, then it is indeed time to move on and find the next relationship. Because remember, little bunny, there are so many people out there in the world, and they are dying to meet you. They are dying for you to be the person you want to be, because that's their ideal person they want to be in a relationship with, whether it's a romantic or a friendship or some kind of interesting combination of the two. So what is the third type of relationship, little bunny? Well, we've had lose-win, and we've had win-lose. So if you imagine a seesaw where one of you is on one side and you're high up and the other one is low on the other side, there's this kind of win-lose thing, and then it can flip the other way and the other person is high up and the other one is low down, and that doesn't work either. So in this analogy of the seesaw, then it makes sense that the correct solution is to be kind of balanced in between. It's kind of a tie relationship where you're both sacrificing, but you're sacrificing the same. And it's fair, and it's as good as you can imagine when you have the seesaw analogy. You're not winning necessarily, or you're winning a little bit, but you're losing in equal proportions, but not losing too much. It's this kind of middle ground, and being in a fair relationship, there's not much you can do that's better. So you might think that this is the best relationship. What other options are there if you think of the seesaw? Well, little bunny, this is the danger of something called reasoning by analogy. Whenever you come up with an analogy about something in your life, don't use it to discover something new. Because there is a fourth kind of relationship, and it's the relationships that we choose here in the garden. It's not lose-win. It's not win-lose. It's not tie-tie. Can you guess what it is? It's win-win. How can this be possible? Well, remember the test, little bunny. I dare you to ask your partner who you feel like is getting the better end of the deal. If in fact a relationship is a deal, it's a wonderful feeling the first time this happens. When you feel like you're getting the better end of the deal and your partner tells you that they feel like they're getting the better end of the deal, these are the people you want to hold on to very tightly, little bunny. And if you feel like you don't have this, if you feel like you're not capable of this, well, you are wrong. And I will prove it to you. What if it's not a relationship between two people, but a relationship between a daddy and his little bunny? Does it shock you right now to realize that I feel like I'm getting the better end of this deal? With everything that I give you, the incredibly positive impact I have on your life, this real love that I give you all the time, even if you've never reached out to me, even if you've never paid for anything like Patreon or bought a hoodie or a sticker or anything, if all you've done is just listen to me talk about how much I love you, listen to me being here for you and giving you support, how could I possibly be the one winning? Well, if you've never reached out to me, that's fine, because your fellow bunnies have reached out to me, and I know that they talk for you too. They've told me the incredibly positive impact I've had on their lives. And so I know by extension that you feel the same way as they do. And even if you've never joined the Patreon or bought a hoodie, that's totally fine. And maybe you have sent me a message. Well, even if I didn't reply, I promise I read it. I read every message I get, and I love them. And I appreciate them very, very much. I'm one of the most beloved people in the world, little bunny. That's a big, big win for me. All I have to do is be myself into a microphone. This is the easiest job in the world. And yes, it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of hard work, but it's a good use of time. And it's a wonderful use of hard work. It makes me happy to be alive. I love waking up in the morning because I know I get to spend my day thinking about how I can be here for you and writing things for you and recording things for you and re-recording things for you. And it's just truly, truly wonderful, little bunny. You bring me so much joy. And even if you don't spend a single penny on the garden for your entire life, that's 100% okay. Did you know you're actually still giving me money? Just by you listening to this right now, you're giving me 2 cents. And that might not sound like a lot, but each time you comment on my TikTok and like it and share it and all those good things that everyone tells you to do, you help me find new little bunnies, or you help them find me, actually. And not only is that a good thing for them because they win in the relationship, I win too because they can subscribe to Patreon. They can listen to the podcast and give me their 2 cents. It's just like an incredible win-win. I get so much love, little bunny, and you making me go viral. It's ensuring I never have to set foot in an office for the rest of my life. That is a freaking win for me. So you, right now, in this moment, little bunny, I am winning right now. At least I feel like I'm winning. And I know for certain you feel like you're winning too. And that's why we're in the garden. The garden is about win-win relationships. I am sacrificing nothing by being here. You are sacrificing nothing by being here. And we're creating something incredibly special together. That's why the garden is so special and so magical. So hang on to me tight, little bunny. I will hang on tight to you for the rest of your life. I'm not going anywhere. I promise. I will never, ever leave you. And we are going to win forever. Okay. So we're going to do announcements. And then I'll read for you the poem that I wrote for you today. It's a good one this time. I think it's one of my best. I'll call it an A tier poem in the rankings from S to F. This is a solid A poem. I think you'll like it a lot. So first up, I'm not sure if it'll make it into this podcast or not, but it's just about time for the podcast to get a sponsor. And so every time you hear an ad, be glad for me that you and your fellow little bunnies are helping make sure that I never set foot in another office ever again. And that just means more content for you and your fellow little bunnies. There's also the merch store that has just launched. If you can afford it, there is a hoodie and a sticker, and the feedback has been wonderful. I made sure that it's a really high quality hoodie. That was my number one thing before I opened a merch shop. I didn't want any kind of crappy pasted on kind of logo. I'll put a link to the store in the show notes. And if you can't buy anything, that's totally fine. It's all about what you want. And if you feel guilty that you're not spending any money on the garden, don't feel guilty at all. Just share the stuff, like it, and comment, and do all that good stuff. You've heard it a million times. What else? If you do have a hoodie, I think what I'm going to do, so I've already received several videos of you showing off the hoodie. That's wonderful. I think what I'll end up doing is it's going to be like a Instagram story highlights type thing of just pictures, maybe short videos, but probably just pictures of little bunnies showing off their hoodies. If you want to be in the highlights, please send me a picture without your face. And if you've already sent a video, just give me permission if you want to be featured there. And of course, if you ever change your mind, just send me a message and I will, of course, take you off it. Okay, next up, the going-ons on Patreon this Saturday, which I guess will probably be tomorrow if you listen to this on time. There's going to be our first movie night. So if you want to join watching Howl's Moving Castle with your fellow little bunnies, then you can hop on the Patreon and then hop on the Discord, and that'll be 3 p.m. on Eastern Time, US. So I think that's everything. So I'll slow us back down, and I'll read for you the poem I wrote for you today. A relationship that is win-lose is not the relationship you should choose. When just your side is the side that bends, you grow tired in time, and that relationship ends. And if the losing is reversed, the reverse is still true. Your partner will leave to find something new. So logically, it's the best when you sacrifice the same, and you both tie fairly in this zero-sum game. But in the garden, we do better. We always go for the best and choose our life's relationships based on this simple test. If both sides are winning through the emotions that we feel, when both we and our partners get the better end of the deal, then we're definitely in the garden where we don't bicker and fight because we've found the ones we truly love and we choose to hold on tight. Have a great week, little bunny. You make my life brighter. I'm so glad you're here. Really. Thank you. I love you. I'm thinking about you all week, and I'm not even going anywhere. I'm staying with you. I'm just going to stop talking right now. Okay? I'm with you always. Love you. Bye.